Hi, I'm Chief Dean Rondeau with Wolfeboro Police Department. I'm here with Sarah Soak, who is the
Site coordinator for the Lakes Region Household Hazardous Product Facility, kind of known as Waste Woman.
and we're here today to talk about the disposal of unwanted pharmaceuticals, both controlled and non-controlled. So the first thing I want to start off with is the programs that the PD has, and I do want to mention that these programs at the PD really came out of your program, your bigger hazardous waste program, and we developed an offshoot of that in 2005, which actually has caught on nationally, and many people probably know that as the National Drug Take Back events that happen a couple of times a year. I'll talk about that here in a minute, but I just wanted to give you credit where credit was due because it was such a good program and a good idea. So at the police department, we have a secure drop box and it's large, it's very large, about the size of a mailbox. And it's bolted into the floor of the PD, and it's monitored 24/7. And you can come in and drop off your unwanted controlled pharmaceuticals. So these would be controlled drugs. So these would be things like OxyContin, or methadone, or Suboxone, or other type of opiates, prescription opiates or narcotics that you've been issued. Either you had a toothache or you had some minor surgery and you didn't use all of the prescription narcotic that they gave you, and you want to get them out of the house. And let me tell you the reason why you want to get them out of the house. One, because those drugs are going to go bad after a while, and they're not going to be any good. Number two, you don't want to put them in the water. You don't want to put them into into the garbage where they will eventually break down and perhaps get into the water. That wouldn't be good. And three, you want to make sure that they don't get diverted onto the street and contribute to the already growing opioid epidemic that we have right now. So all of those reasons are reason enough to come in, and you just walk in the lobby of the PD and you put your controlled pharmaceuticals in that drop box and you walk right on out. There's no human interaction required. Just drop it off. If you want, Sarah will show you how to just mark off the name on the prescription if you want to. You don't have to with a black Sharpie, and you can just cross your name off on the prescription bottle and drop it off if you want to. You don't have to, but certainly getting rid of those pharmaceuticals, those controlled pharmaceuticals, is a good thing. We also participate in the DEA collection events. The next one scheduled is for 27 April. That's a Saturday. There'll be large boxes at the PD where you can come in and drop your pharmaceuticals off to get rid of them, and they're all turned into the DEA after the event, and the DEA hauls them down to Massachusetts where they're disposed of properly in accordance with USDA and FDA guidelines. So those are the programs that we run out of the police department. Of course, the drop box is there 24/7. So you can use it at any time, literally any time, day and night. If you had an urge and you wanted to use it at 3 in the morning, you could. Come on in. The PD's always open, and just drop your medicines off right in that box. And I'm going to turn it over to Sarah now to describe her Lakes Region Hazardous Waste Products Facility and the program that she runs through the town of Wolfeboro.
We have a hazardous waste program. It's been going on in Wolfeboro for many years. We started out with regional planning, and then in 2002 we built our own facility. And thank you to Dean Rondeau, we were able to be a pilot program for Northeast Recycling Council, and we started doing our medicine collections in conjunction with our hazardous waste more than a decade and a half ago. If you stop at your solid waste facility, you can pick up your hazardous waste pass. You can get these flyers. Inside the flyers, it will explain that we are always open for hazardous waste the third Saturday of the month, May through October. And we do 2 medicine collections in Wolfeboro. One is the third Saturday of June, which will be the 15th of June this year, and also the 17th of August. We can only take medications on those special days because we need to have 2 police officers and a pharmacist. Every prescription drug is positively identified and counted by the pharmacist. And then, if it's a controlled drug, it will go with the police officers. If it is not a controlled drug, it will go with our waste haulers as a pesticide solid if it's a pill, a pesticide liquid if it's like perhaps cough medicine, or it might go as an aerosol if it's an asthma puffer. Please do not cross off the name of the drug or the strength of the drug, but you may cross off your name if you wish. All of these items will be incinerated, so there will be no record. We collect several things that you probably don't even imagine. We collect the controlled drugs, which will go in any kind of prescription drugs, which goes with either the officer is controlled or the waste hauler is non-controlled. We collect all kinds of expired or unwanted painkillers. Believe it or not, vitamins, herbal supplements. Also, a lot of us have, just as I do at my house, a septic system. You don't want to be flushing all of those pills down your septic system. If there maybe an allergy medication, maybe a little something, like Pepto-Bismol or Imodium, bring all of those. The things you might not expect that we would collect are personal care products. What's a personal care product? Your deodorant, perfume, fingernail polish remover, hairspray, all of those type of things, believe it or not, are hazardous waste. The reason being, most all of them have a lot of alcohol in it and they're highly flammable. Some also have items in it which should not be in your drinking water. Besides our hazardous waste collection of paints and everything and the medication, we also can assist you with information about how to dispose of sharps. Most of you will know that sharps are like diabetic needles, or they now have prescriptions for migraine headache shots and whatnot because they found out they work better than pills. You can go to a pharmacist and you can buy these types of containers. They come just like this, or they come in a cardboard shipping box for a little bit more money. You can put them in there. The problem is, when you see this biohazard warning, it means you cannot drop it off at the solid waste facility. If you bring those to us down at Hazardous Waste, we will take care of them for you and dispose of them. A much safer, better, and more convenient way of taking care of your sharps is with these little Becton Dickinson sharp snips. They look like a little teeny miniature stapler, which those of us of a certain age will probably remember. And you just squeeze them, they pop open. Right here on the side is a little hole. You insert the needle there, you just pinch it, the needle is broken off and encapsulated safely in this little reservoir. It'll hold up to 1,500. Then it's closed. You can stick it in your pocket, you can stick it in your purse. It's very convenient. You can take it with you when you're on the road. If you need to do an injection when you're at a lunch somewhere or something, you can very quietly go into the restroom and then you can clip the needle. Please don't ever flush needles down the john. It will stop up everything. Needles are not meant to go down there. These are just so easy to use. They're very inexpensive. They are maybe about, about a tenth of the cost of these containers, which you can't get rid of. If you bring them to us, the other, we don't have these in stock. We're working on trying to have a program where we can pass them out. If you do have these at home and you've used them in the past, if you bring them to Hazardous Waste, we can take care of them for you. The state, if you look at the DES website, will tell you to take a Tide bottle, and when we say Tide bottle, it can be any type of laundry detergent bottle, because the plastic in the laundry detergent bottles is so much heavier than the plastic you'd have on any of these, and we all know that the plastic water bottles now are very wimpy. The needles would go right through them. Our purpose is to protect you from getting stuck inadvertently later and to protect the solid waste workers from getting stuck. We can give you these. They are a press apply label that you can put on your Tide bottle or other brand of bottle. We can also, if you use a Sharpie marker, you can mark onto your plastic containers from your laundry detergent, sharps, do not recycle. The reason we ask you to do either this here or to mark it with a Sharpie is so that if you throw that in, you can hand it to one of the attendants at the solid waste facility, but if you throw it in there, we don't want them to grab that Tide bottle and throw it into the recyclable bin, because later on, they'll take those recyclables and put them in the trash compactor, and when they squish it down, those needles, when this bursts, would go shooting out all over the floor. It could cause possible injury. It costs more than $40,000 if someone at a solid waste facility is stuck with a sharp, because they have to be tested for HIV, they have to be tested for hepatitis, there's numerous visits to a doctor, there's a lot of mental anguish, and it's a big workers' comp, and we all pay that in the end. And I know that no one ever intends for someone else to get hurt. This goes for pet needles as well. If you have a pet that needs injection or farm animals that need injections, please put them into either use one of these little needle clips or put them into a container that's got a good solid wall like a laundry detergent container. Either mark them or come to us. We can give you a press supply label. If you've already filled one of these, bring that to us. And by all means, these we can take anytime we're open. Medications, please come visit us in June and August, and we will be happy to take that along with all of your regular hazardous waste. And I know that it's really important that you get rid of your controlled meds. We're only open twice in the summer. We've already had a special winter collection in February, which was very productive. A lot of people like that because they don't have to wait in line for people to get their hazardous waste disposed of. They just whip right in. They only have medications. So we are looking forward to continuing our program, and we ask that you come and use all of the various programs accessible to you. April with the police department, the last Saturday in April. In October, look for another announcement for another DEA collection. If you have controlled drugs, please, they are the most dangerous out there. Please use Dean's disposal in the lobby 24/7. You just walk and drop. Just bring it in, drop it in, and then you can bring it to us. All of these other things. We're happy to take the bulk of these so that we don't fill up your lobby with used aspirin.
That. These programs that you just heard about from Sarah and I form the pillar of our community's counter-drug strategy program in terms of drug mitigation. These programs are very important. We try to make it as convenient for the community as possible. Just let me take a moment and explain why it's not a good idea to take any of these substances and put them down into your septic system or put them into the wastewater that is treated at the wastewater treatment plant. And it's because the systems up there are designed to handle biodegradable refuse, if you will. They're designed to handle organic waste and organic matter. These things right here don't fit in that category. So what happens is when you take something as innocuous as bare aspirin or something as addictive as Oxycontin or doxycycline or some other narcotic, all you do is break it down into parts per million or parts per trillion. And if everybody in town were doing that, I think you would see the picture here that the wastewater is going to become contaminated, and the wastewater treatment facility is not designed to move those chemicals out of the water. So when it's further sprayed out or getting rid of the chemical is still in that water, and it's going to get into the groundwater, and that's why we don't want any of these medicines in our drinking water.
And I'm sure people know, because for years and years, they've had the reports of, the fish being malformed, the frogs with too many legs, the sex changes and all in frogs. And all of this is due to anti-inflammatories, antidepressants, birth control pills, all these things. We emit some from our body just because our body doesn't utilize all of it. But then when people think they're doing the right thing by flushing them, they're sending really concentrated amounts of all of these medications.
Into the
And
water.
like you said, there's no way to really precipitate that out. And so we want to make sure that we stop it before it goes in. It's sort of like the little illustration of people are falling over a dam and they have all the ambulances downriver to catch them. Well, that's not the right approach. The approach we need is to stop them from jumping in before they get to the dam. So it's the same here. We don't want to try to take this stuff out of our wastewater. We want to prevent it from going into the wastewater, because indeed we really don't have a good means to do that at this point.
And the way that these drugs are disposed of, the controlled pharmaceuticals and the other drugs are disposed of, they're gotten rid of in specially designed incinerators, right? So someone's going to say, oh, well, the smoke is going to go in there. No, it's not. The incinerators have scrubbers on them, and the incinerators are designed so even the smoke is consumed within the flame. So at the end, what is left is really inert ash, and that's disposed of in accordance with the EPA rules. So again, the systems, the programs that we have here are designed with you, the citizens, in mind. They're designed to be very easy to use. They're designed with convenience in mind. You can take advantage of any one of these programs, but please just pick them all if you need to, and take advantage of them all. But please get rid of your controlled pharmaceuticals and your non-controlled drugs in accordance with the procedures set forth by Sarah, and it'll do everybody a world of good, and we'll get these substances out of our community.
Quick review. Lakes Region Household Hazardous Product Facility gives you 3 opportunities: February, which has already transpired, the 3rd Saturday of June, the 3rd Saturday of August. The police department has DEA the end of April, DEA the end of October. That gives you 5 opportunities, and then we have the 6th opportunity is the lobby box for your controlled ones, the ones that really are dangerous out there. And the good news is, when we send these out through hazardous waste, it essentially costs us nothing. All these teeny little bottles filter down in around all the larger containers in the big 55-gallon drums that they have, and so it's really costing us nothing to get rid of it. But the cost to society, if we don't get rid of them, is huge.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in and joining us on Wolfeboro Community TV. Look for more shows, and please see us in June. I'll probably be there with Sarah, along with my executive officer or another police officer from the Wolfeboro PD. And we appreciate you taking advantage of these programs. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
Yes.
Be safe out there.
If you have any questions, call 651-7530. Anytime after 6 a.m. in the morning, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have and direct you either to our place or to our program, or anything you have to do with hazardous waste as well. Like you said, be safe out there and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye, folks.